What if I told you that your entire life is being controlled by 7 invisible laws, not man-made, not written in any constitution, but encoded in the fabric of the universe itself? The ancient sages knew them, they lived by them, and they passed them on in whispers through a mysterious book, the Kybalion. These are the 7 Hermetic Principles, and whether you believe them or not, they are already working in your life every second of every day. You just don't know it yet. In the beginning, there was no light, no sound, no time, just awareness, an infinite, boundless intelligence watching itself in silence. This is what the ancients called the All, and from that silent awareness came thought, one thought, a spark that said, "Let there be," and reality began. You may think you live in a material world, a universe of objects, matter, things you can touch, but the oldest wisdom known to humanity, the Hermetic Principle of Mentalism, tells a different story. It says, everything is mind, not just shaped by mind, not just influenced by mind, but literally mind-made. Matter is just thought, slowed down. Solid form is illusion, a dream playing itself in divine imagination. The All is not a god in the sky, it's not a person, it's not a deity in human form. It is a living, thinking, conscious field, so vast, so intelligent, that it doesn't need a body. You are inside its thought. Every atom, every breath, every heartbeat is a ripple in the mind of the All. The ancients called this divine mind. The Hindus called it Brahman. Quantum physicists are only now catching up, realizing that consciousness may not emerge from matter, but matter might emerge from consciousness. Here's the truth no one ever told you. The physical world is a simulation, not of computers, but of consciousness. Your thoughts aren't private. They are the blueprints of your reality. Every time you think, you send ripples across this mental universe. Your beliefs become your prison, or your wings. Your fears feed the shadows around you, and your visions create your future. Your entire life, your health, your relationships, your success, your failures is not happening to you. It is being generated from you, like a dream designed by your inner frequency. Thoth, the god of wisdom, was never just a scribe. He was the master of thought itself, the architect of realities. That's why mentalism is the first hermetic law, because until you realize you are the dreamer, not the dream, you will always be trapped in someone else's illusion. Ask yourself, what are you thinking right now? Because that thought is already shaping your future. The mind is not a place, it is the source of place. Learn to master it, and nothing will ever control you again. As above, so below, as within, so without. What if I told you the stars above your head are not separate from the thoughts inside your mind? That every tear you've ever cried mirrors the oceans that surround the earth? That your smallest emotion echoes across the fabric of reality? The ancient Hermeticists didn't believe in separation. They believed in reflection. They believed in correspondence. This principle is simple in words, but infinite in implication. As above, so below. As within, so without. As the universe, so the soul. It means the universe is fractal, repeating, mirroring, self-similar. What happens on one level of reality echoes on all other levels. Look at your veins now, look at the rivers of Earth. Look at your neurons now, compare them to the vast web of galaxies in the night sky. Coincidence or design? The ancients would say, neither. It's correspondence. The macrocosm, the above, and the microcosm, the below, are two expressions of the same truth. If your inner world is chaotic, your outer life will reflect that chaos. If your heart is heavy, your path will feel like burden. But if you find stillness within, you'll find harmony without. Because the outer world is just a mirror. It doesn't show you what is, it shows you what you are. This law is why spiritual masters spend lifetimes looking inward. Not because they are escaping the world, but because they know. The world is just their reflection. You cannot change the mirror by smashing the glass. You change the mirror by changing yourself. As above, so below also means this. The rules that govern the heavens, gravity, rhythm, cycles, also govern your emotions, your relationships, your fate. When the moon pulls the tides, it also pulls the waters in your body. When stars collapse into themselves, so do broken hearts under pressure. The cosmos is not out there, it's in you. This principle invites a deeper kind of responsibility. Because you realize, if you're constantly surrounded by conflict, maybe there's conflict within. If the world feels unfair, maybe you're not being fair to yourself. This is not blame, this is power. Because once you understand this mirror, you can clean it, you can reshape it. The Hermeticists believe that reality is layered. There are worlds within worlds, planes of vibration stacked like invisible glass, physical, mental, spiritual, causal. And through correspondence, you can access higher planes by working through lower ones. Change your actions, your body follows. Change your beliefs, your reality follows. Want to reach heaven? Fix earth. Want to find peace in the world? Heal your soul first. That's why rituals work. That's why affirmations work. Not because they're magic, but because they correspond. A candle lit with intention on earth sends ripples across unseen planes, and sometimes those ripples come back as miracles. We spend our lives chasing external things, money, love, validation, hoping they'll fix the ache inside. But what if that ache inside is the real cause of your external lack? The universe is a feedback loop, an echo chamber, a living mirror. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. So the next time you look at your world, look deeper. Ask yourself, what inside me is being reflected out there? Because the heavens do not ignore the heart, they reflect it. As above, so below. As within, so without. Nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. You think the world is still, but nothing is still. Not the rocks, not the stars, not your body, not even your thoughts. Everything is vibration. Everything is in motion. The ancient Hermeticists knew this long before science confirmed it. They taught nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. And if you can understand this principle, you'll realize that reality is music, a grand symphony of invisible frequencies, playing across every dimension of existence. You have a frequency right now, whether you know it or not. Your mood, your thoughts, your health, all emit a vibration. Sadness is a slow frequency. Anger is sharp and chaotic. Joy is light and expansive. Love is the purest resonance of all. You don't feel emotions, you vibrate them. The ancients didn't just meditate to calm the mind, they did it to tune themselves, like instruments. Because when you're out of tune, the world feels heavy, your path becomes noisy, but when you're vibrating at your natural frequency, reality flows effortlessly. This is why sound is sacred. Mantras, chants, music, they don't just sound beautiful, they align you. They unlock vibrations buried deep in your DNA. Every ancient civilization, Egypt, India, Sumeria, knew this secret, that the universe was sung into being, and modern science is finally catching up. String theory says every particle, every atom, every bit of matter is just a vibrating string of energy. Matter is vibration condensed, and what we call reality is just vibration you believe in deeply enough. Here's the real power. You can raise your vibration, you can shift it. And when you do, the world around you shifts too, because your vibration attracts situations, people, outcomes, not because of magic, but because of resonance. If you vibrate at fear, you attract fear-based reality. If you vibrate at love, you become a magnet for harmony, purpose, and connection. Energy doesn't lie. It doesn't negotiate. It only attracts what matches it. This is why great masters control their emotional state. Not because they're always happy, but because they understand that every emotional dip is a vibration that shapes their reality. You're not a victim of frequency. You are a generator of it. The question is, asterisk, what are you broadcasting? The principle of vibration reminds us that we are not fixed, not solid, but always moving, always becoming. That pain can be transformed, that darkness can rise into light, that your vibration is the key to your evolution. Every thought is a pulse, every feeling is a frequency, every breath is a beat in the cosmic rhythm. Master your vibration, and the universe dances with you. Raise your frequency. Remember who you are. Nothing rests. Everything moves. Everything vibrates. Everything is dual. Everything has poles. Light and shadow. Fire and ice. Birth and death. Love and hate. They seem like opposites. But what if I told you they are the same thing? Two sides of the same energy. Two poles of the same truth. This is the principle of polarity. The ancient Hermeticists whispered, everything is dual, everything has poles, everything has its pair of opposites. But in truth, there are no opposites. only extremes of the same thing. Think about temperature. Hot and cold aren't two things. They're degrees of the same thing. Heat, light and darkness, just different levels of illumination. Love and hate, vibrations of the same emotion. Passion. You see the illusion of conflict, but underneath there is only one force, varying in degree. Why does this matter? Because understanding this principle gives you the power to shift realities. When you feel fear, know that courage is not the opposite. It's the other pole. The same energy, just transmuted. You don't need to fight your emotions. You don't need to kill darkness. You only need to shift the polarity. Sadness into joy, anger into power, chaos into growth. How? Through consciousness. Because polarity responds to attention. What you focus on expands. What you reject persists. Nature is built on polarity, day and night, inhale and exhale, life and death. But they don't fight each other, they dance. Polarity is not conflict, it's rhythm. One pole makes the other possible. The Egyptians knew this. They didn't just worship light, they honored shadow. Because they understood, without darkness, light is meaningless. Without death, life is hollow. Without pain, joy is flat. When you understand polarity, you stop being a slave to your moods. You stop swinging violently between extremes. You become the axis, the calm in the storm, the observer of duality. Because when you see that good and bad are just names we give to energy, you stop reacting and you start creating. Mastery doesn't come from choosing one pole. It comes from understanding both and choosing your position on the scale. Want more peace? Shift from chaos, don't fight it. Want clarity? Step out of confusion, don't curse it. Because everything exists on a spectrum. Polarity is the cosmic pendulum, and if you swing too far one way, you will swing just as far the other. The key is balance, stillness, awareness. That's where power lives, not at the poles, but at the center. Observe the extremes. Choose the middle path. Everything is dual, but you are beyond the dual. You are the one who watches, the one who chooses, the one who remembers. The principle of rhythm. Everything flows, out and in. Everything has its tides. All things rise and fall. Life breathes. Inhale, exhale, expand, contract, rise and fall. The ancients called it the principle of rhythm. Everything flows. Everything has its tides. Nothing stays still. Forever. You've felt it. The good days, the bad days, the waves of energy you can't explain. 1 week confidence, the next doubt. 1 season success, the next loss. This is not chaos. This is rhythm. The Hermeticists understood this law. They watched the Nile rise and fall. They watched the moon wax and wane. They saw that nothing escapes it. Not kings, not beggars, not even gods. Because the universe is a dance of forward and backward motion. You see, rhythm governs everything. Your moods, your energy, your luck, even your relationships. The deeper the swing to the left, the stronger the swing to the right, the greater the pain, the deeper the wisdom, the longer the winter, the brighter the spring. This is why nothing stays the same, and nothing should. The pain you feel, it's temporary. It's just the pendulum swinging. The joy you chase, it too will pass. But don't fear that, honor it. Rhythm teaches us to be still, even as things move. Those who don't understand rhythm get pulled by it. When they're up, they think it will last forever. When they fall, they believe it's the end. But the wise, they observe the rhythm and move with it, not against it. They know no storm lasts, no tide stays high, no night is endless. The universe breathes, and so do you. Your thoughts are waves, your desires pulses, your body a rhythm of blood, breath and heartbeat. Even your soul moves in cycles of expansion and contraction. So what do we do with this knowledge? We ride the wave. We don't resist the fall, because falling teaches us how to rise stronger. We stop clinging, we stop fearing, and we start flowing. Life is not about escaping rhythm. It's about dancing with it, not forcing the tide, but learning to surf it. When you're low, be still. Learn. Listen. When you're high, be grateful. Share. Prepare. Because every rise carries the seed of a fall, and every fall carries the seed of rebirth. The goal isn't to stop the swing. It's to find your center, the silent observer, the still witness. That's where power lives. Not in the rise, not in the fall, but in the stillness between them. Everything flows, everything rises and falls, but you can remain unmoved. You are the center, you are the silence, you are the rhythm. Subscribe if you're ready to move with the universes. Every cause has its effect. Every effect has its cause. Nothing happens by accident. Every moment, every meeting, every thought is part of a chain, a cosmic domino, triggered long before you noticed it. This is the principle of cause and effect. The ancients whispered, there is no such thing as chance. Chance is just a name for laws not yet understood. You see an event, a coincidence, a miracle, a tragedy, but behind it is a string of causes, invisible, unseen, but very, very real. One spark, one word, one decision can create an avalanche of consequences. You are not separate from the world. You are not a victim of fate. You are a cause. Every action you take, every thought you hold, begins a ripple. That ripple moves through time, through people, through generations. Think about it. Why are you who you are? Why do you think what you think? Your beliefs, your habits, your fears were caused by your parents, by your culture, by someone you may never meet, but their action became your reality. You are living in the effect of someone else's cause. But here's the truth Hermeticists knew. The moment you become aware, you shift from effect to cause. When you're unconscious, you're just reacting, being pushed by forces you don't see. But when you become conscious, you become a force of nature. You stop blaming, you stop waiting, you start choosing. Every word you speak plants a seed. Every emotion you feel sends a signal. Every belief you repeat becomes a blueprint. You are either causing your life or being caused by it. Want to change your life? Go upstream. Don't fight the effect, find the cause. If you're broke, don't chase money. Chase the thoughts that repel it. If you're lost, don't ask the world. Ask the self you've abandoned. Because the effect is just the shadow. The cause is the real magician. In ancient Egypt, the gods weren't just worshipped. They were seen as laws, forces that caused reality. Ra was the cause of light. Ma'at was the cause of balance. Set was the cause of chaos. Even gods followed cause and effect. So where are your footsteps taking you? What are you causing? With your words, your energy, your thoughts. If you speak with love, you cause healing. If you act in fear, you cause delay. If you believe in growth, you cause transformation. Cause and effect is the law of creators. You were not made to be at the mercy of luck. You were made to plant causes and reap miracles. Don't live in reaction, live in creation, because you are the seed. You are the spark. You are the cause. Gender is in everything. Everything has its masculine and feminine principles. Look around you, the sun and the moon, the earth and the sky, the push and the pull, the stillness and the storm. In all of it, there is a balance, a hidden dance between masculine and feminine. This is the principle of gender. But this is not about man or woman. This is not biology. It is metaphysics. Everything, every being, every idea contains both masculine and feminine energy, not in opposition, but in harmony. Not a war, but a marriage. The masculine is the force of action. It penetrates, it initiates, it gives form. The feminine is the force of reception. It nurtures, it expands, it gives life. Together they create. Together they are the architect of the cosmos. In ancient Kemet, the goddess Isis wasn't just a woman. She was the principle of divine receptivity, intuition, emotion, mystery, and Osiris, structure, order, direction, the sacred masculine. Only together could they give birth to the divine child Horus, the symbol of enlightened creation. Today, many live in imbalance, too much masculine energy, and we become rigid, controlling, burnt out. Too much feminine energy, and we lose focus. Get lost in dreams, never act. But the wise, the ancient initiate, knows this secret. When you balance both, you unlock your full power. You have both energies inside you, the logic and the feeling, the planning and the flow, the discipline and the surrender. Creation requires both. A vision, masculine, and faith to receive it, feminine. Every great work, every dream, every miracle was born from the sacred union of these two forces. Think of the universe itself, the Big Bang, a masculine burst of force, space, the feminine womb in which it expanded, light and dark, day and night, mind and heart. The ancient temples weren't just structures, they were blueprints, teaching us how to live in balance, to lead with strength, but guided by wisdom, to speak truth, but listen deeply, to act but also receive. So ask yourself, are you living in your full self? Or just one half of it? Are you only chasing, or are you allowing? Are you only thinking, or are you feeling? Because your power is not in becoming one or the other, it's in becoming both, whole, divine, alchemical. Gender is not a cage, it's a compass. It doesn't divide you, it completes you. And when you learn to wield both energies, you don't just live, you create. You become the god of your own world. The masculine acts, the feminine receives. Together, they awaken divinity. You hold both. Use them wisely. You made it this far, and that says something profound. You're not here by accident. You're awakening. Each law you've just discovered isn't just a rule. It's a mirror, a reflection of the universe and of you. The fact that you're watching this now means the universe has already started whispering to your soul. Pay attention, question everything, because once you see the code, you can't unsee it. The Hermetic path isn't easy, but it was never meant to be. It's not for the many, it's for the few, and you are one of the few.